I am aware that I am doing things to feed this state of being that I'm in right now. I don't wanna not be angry because it feels better than being scared.
Mm,
So, what I'm aware is that I have a choice and I am choosing, and I'm choosing moment to moment.
Today's video is to call out the hypocrisy in the metaphysical community and to denounce the calls of violence I keep hearing against Trump supporters. You're deranged, you're unhinged, it's delusional, and I'm sick of it. Namaste or namaste in bed and not participate. It's up to you. You do you, boo. Welcome. I'm Jessica. I'm a spiritual advisor and political scientist. And I was planning on turning that gain up and doing that ASMR reading like you guys requested. But once again, we find ourselves having to make an emergency broadcast for some ridiculousness. So let me tell you what happened. I do, in fact, take all of my studies and all of my different pursuits very seriously. And I have been been blessed to be a part of a larger spiritual community and have a wonderful mentor. And one of the things that we do is get together and have like sort of a Zoom call to just go over overall topics. I don't know, some of the people in the group, they do see clients like I do as well. And we kind of just share different experiences and different things going on. Oftentimes in this world, like it's so beautifully ordered when you look at how we go through different experiences together, and even from like the microcosm scale to the macrocosm scale, we find themes throughout our life that just relate to people, even if they're all the way over in California or wherever they're at. So, point being, this video is not to dox or make fun of. God is calling you to be a better person than me and not laugh at her. Okay? Trying. But I do not feel like I can be silent anymore because it is so comfortable for someone to say, I want to do XYZ to this Trump supporter, and it's never the other way. And if it were, the FBI would be at my house right now if I said some of the things that I'm about to let you guys hear. I promise you. And I am not trying to be in my lower self and angry and all that, and I'm not, but it's like I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore because it's such an injustice that I'm supposed to shut up and not say what I believe, and everybody else can say what they want. Not everybody else, but anyone on the left, they can say anything they want. I'm about to show you guys the same people talking out both sides of their mouth. I am so scared. I want love and light. If somebody looks at me, I'm afraid I'm going to go to jail. And then another person saying, yeah, we should stab MAGA supporters. And then saying, I'm so scared if you're not a white male. I'm going to get so much shit for this. You know what? Let's do this. I got to show you.
Yeah, no, I can. Last week I couldn't stop crying. And I cried for about 2 days straight after the election. And I was really sad. And I'm actually not really sad anymore. What I am is really, really angry. And that's kind of where I've landed. And that's sort of where I've been for the last week. And so this question of, who am I supposed to be and what am I supposed to be in this present moment has been really up for me because
Did you enjoy that? What does that say about you? What does that say about me? I had to rewatch that back and notice the gentleman in the top left, who's my mentor, and I haven't told him I'm making this, so I'm not going to say his name. But judging by his reaction, I think he'd be proud of this. It's a mixed bag out there in Nevada, I tell you what. Okay. Let's keep going. Try to analyze this. When I was watching this, as you noticed, I did have to turn my screen off because I didn't want to be disrespectful, but I was laughing at her. It was absolutely it was like watching a child. Get yourself together. You're a grown up. There's no way that should bring upon that reaction to your world if you are at any bit grounded in reality. So, watching that, all I could sit there and think was, I would not have a single client if I reacted like that to this situation or any other crisis situation. Why are you, that was the table squeaking. Why are you falling apart? Okay, but you're supposed to be representing a certain, I don't know where her particular beliefs lie spiritually, but I know for myself, walking around with content and peace and dignity and grounded in reality of what is and what is true speaks volumes. But her breaking down whatever version of spirituality that is, I don't want it, and nobody else does either. Whatever that is, you can tell people about spirituality and stuff all day, and at the end of the day, they're going to look at who you are, how you're living, if you're happy, if you're miserable, if you're sitting there worrying about this, that, and the other that has nothing to do with you, and then you're crying and falling apart. You're supposed to be talking about ways to enlighten yourself. Guys, we can do better than this. Now, as much as you might be wanting to laugh at this individual, or you might be feeling compassion towards her, or hatred towards me, or whatever this emotion is that you have linked to this now, set that aside for what I'm about to say. At the end of the day, there is I feel very sorry that someone, not sorry. This is a problem overall, regardless of who's right, wrong, political beliefs, this, that, and the other. To be this upset, like, I feel very sad for her and, like, want her to be okay. I want her to be okay. Like, this isn't, I'm not trying to make it us versus them like she is. What is the root of this problem that is making her this upset? Like, we've talked in some of the other videos, sometimes you just gotta pray for the person and, or however it is, wish them well, let them go. But like, she's not alone in this. We need to pull back to reality that, well, let me show you some more footage about what her delusions are about.
and I may not have been choosing the things that are ultimately best for me, healthiest for me, whatever judgment you want to put on it. But, when I look at who do I want to be, I vacillate between I want to be the living embodiment of what I want to see in the world. And I want to be a badass protector
Mm.
of the oppressed and of myself. And I'm going to start, taking self-defense classes and sharpening my knives. And
Yeah.
those two things are not really compatible. So I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to land. And for right now, I'm just letting it come up and come out. And
Mm.
A couple of things to observe first here is what we're seeing, this bubbling up of her emotion, is what I like to call emotional incontinence. Can't keep it together syndrome. There's a difference of when to show emotion and when to show that you are a capable adult. Also, I don't know why she would want to take self-defense classes or sharpen knives, but who does she think is coming to get her? Guys, we aren't really. I'm just, people are not, people think, I know, like I'm trying to wrap my head around it. This woman thinks because Trump won the election that she needs to take self-defense classes because someone's coming to get her. I'm trying to say it nice, but literally, like, let's
that
look
it's
at some.
not
Yeah.
probably what people will want to hear, and I don't want to.
No, I welcome it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm your amen chorus on all of that.
Yeah.
All of it.
I mean, I'm so pissed, and I'm so over anybody's bullshit. I haven't been out of the house much because
Yeah.
honestly, I'm afraid if somebody looks at me the wrong way, I'm going to end up in jail.
Mm.
Now, isn't that rich from someone who just said they were going to be taking self-defense classes and sharpening their knives? But they're scared how someone's going to look at them because they can't control themselves. Who should be scared here? Who needs self-defense from who? Let's take a look at the response.
Welcoming all of the pieces. I love that welcoming piece. I want to speak to that, like this practice that we're demonstrating, because this is what this community is about, is that everything that we feel and all these choices that we feel like we want to entertain, it's all okay, right? It's okay to feel like I want to go practice shooting my guns, or I want to go sharpen my knives, or I want to find all my weapons and gather them around me. Like, that's okay. But being in this space of recognizing who we're really here to be is that one that is surrendered to love coming through us. And what that looks like, I hear this space of like wanting to defend these things, wanting to, and so it's like it's all okay that we get to practice being in those things. And just this beautiful discernment that I experienced you saying, it was like, yeah, sharpening the knives, and also too the recognition that I'm not totally grounded right now and I might stab a bitch if I go out. Like, so that
Oh no,
beautiful
not a bitch.
Yeah.
just
Maybe
saying,
a MAGA somebody.
yeah, right. But
I'm sorry.
this, yeah,
Yeah, I'm kidding.
it's
Yeah.
this space of,
No, it is not okay. It is not okay at all. You are not okay if you feel like doing this to others. telling people it's okay to be deep in their feels and everything, that is what makes people feel comfortable with saying the next statement right after that of stab a MAGA. I don't know if you guys caught that one towards the end there. Telling people it's been okay, this is where it's got us. It's delusional, and we're not serving anybody at all right now. And with each other, society, any of it. We can't feed into this anymore. Nope. I don't think I can be quiet anymore about this and just let people live as an island, because this is psychotic. This is psychotic. Am I like, I don't scare easily, and I'm not scared by her, but it's like, maybe I should be, because this is really like out there that people want to do that, like to bring harm on me, like in my family. And I don't see it any different as a hatred of any other ideological or other kind of group like that. Like, what's the difference?
The experience that is being perpetuated in our field that we don't get caught in is the us and them, because this upset is about them, and that there's a clear them that is standing up in the field.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of the bigger traps that we're all facing right now, is
Yeah.
there's plenty of evidence in the field. If there's something to be upset about, most of us are triggered about a very real thing. There is a real human that is embodying all of these attributes, and a bunch of other people gathering around him to do all these things. And it doesn't matter what position, what side, politically, spiritually, emotionally, sexually, financially, whatever. It's all out there, and we're all getting triggered and carrying.
When people come to me as clients, one of the things I help them with is this emotional dysregulation that you're witnessing here. Another thing is I teach them how to be good students, as in better listeners. If you listen to this whole thing, and as I was observing throughout, there is just a huge undercurrent of fear, and that is driving everything else, all these other primal emotions. And if you are really listening to them, Trump is the embodiment of all these other fears. He's been painted as the villain if you look at it, it would be, I guess, to separate us apart, to create a division. I don't know. I'm not one of Rachel Maddow's, 50,000 viewers. I can't tell you why. But other than fear gets people to tune in, but you don't have to be about that. And as the spiritual community is failing people, which is what this video is really about. This is feeding into a irrational fear. I mean, I do think I'm not criticizing anybody in this situation. I'm making an observation, really, really, truly. And again, I'm going to reiterate this again, though I'm praying for this lady. This is like a fellow American to me. Like, I don't want her to live in fear. But let's wrap this up.
And so I really want to fan those flames of you allowing yourself to sharpen those knives. That's okay. I think it's okay to have all of these things available, but that space of like really not being afraid to go into that shadowy mess, because that's what God works through, that space. God's not trying to get us to skip over the falling in the mud. God's there with us while we fall into that
And she was
ditch.
saying, what you see is the caboose of the
Because there's
train
something
every
about us that-
time. Like, in other words, some things have happened and you're seeing the visual, like the physical manifestation is like, so we've got this problem with the way that we see people that aren't the same as us in this country. It's been there forever. It's the deepest wound, and this is like the boil that's lanced. And,
Yeah.
you know, hopefully this is the tail of the comic, because I'm sick of this shit, and as a woman and as a teacher and,
Mm.
these girls, I have Hispanic girls I've been teaching and said goodbye to them yesterday for the last time. And I left that campus thinking, "Oh, God, I hope their families are gonna be okay."
Mm.
'Cause, I mean, if you're not, like, rich and male and white and powerful, then you might have a fight on your hands in about 10 minutes, Maybe not. But, I mean, girls, I worry about my niece, and
Oh, you're worried about your niece? Yeah. I'm worried about my family too, because you just said you would stab them. You know, let's just call this out for what it is. There's no moral superiority in this whole conversation of this country just doesn't like the others. How dare they? Let's rid ourselves of them. Like, I hope me mashing this up together is putting some pieces together for y'all. Okay?
I worry about my niece and the Supreme Court and all that. And as Doug said, none of it's happened. So
Yeah.
I don't worry forever. I'm talking myself down,
Yeah.
but I do
love that.
feel something clenching
Yeah.
around.
I love that call out, Jane. What I hear you saying is like, who are we gonna be in response to this injustice? Because it's injustice and it's not
Yeah,
okay.
it's
Who are we
clear.
gonna be about that?
Yeah, because he's hiring bullies and
Yeah. All sorts of
hiring
things.
that are like really
I
disgusting.
wanna be mindful of this space, and I don't want this current
Yeah.
climate to take over our community or our conversation.
Ah, yes, we wouldn't want to show favoritism towards one ideology here in the spiritual community, would we?
This is the practice of what we're talking about here today. I've noticed that he's doing things very differently than he did the first time. Very differently. And I'm noticing that and like, oh, that's interesting. Just interesting. Like we'll see what actually comes of it. Is it going to be the liberation of freedom and individual sovereignty, or is it going to be more subjugation and more monitoring and more oligarchical? I don't know. We're about to find out.
What,
There's
something that occurred to me.
Well, that's about all I can take of this low vibrational hatred. So let's just round this out with the final message from my mentor here.
the discussion. One is pretty simple, and that is I've done healing work for 40 years. That's what's always attracted me and always uh, brought my thing in. And the time I celebrated was when somebody had an emotional release, because I knew that was a key component of the thing. And what you guys witnessed, and we all witnessed on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, was the biggest emotional release our country has had
Mm.
in my lifetime, probably.
Mm.
And so I know that despite the fact that there's mixed feelings and people haven't resolved it yet,
Mhm.
what happened is healing, is is a is the pathway to healing. So I was in celebration and uh, not very attached to the political side of it.
Spoken like a man of true peace and wisdom right there. So, hope you enjoy this video. I'm aware of whatever hornet's nest that I've kicked over, and I thought about quitting this video a couple of times, but then what kept popping up in my head is how filming the intro that I captured a pretty cool orb like right away, and it just feels kind of faded. So I love y'all. Take care. Thank you for stopping by today, and hope you have a wonderful, blessed day. Please be kind to each other. Well, this has to stop. We're going to figure out a way to get along. I'm going to do my part. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. Is to call out the extreme hypocrisy and to denounce the violence that today's video is to point out the hypocrisy in the metaphysical community and to denounce. Today's video is to call out the hypocrisy in the metaphysical community and to denounce the calls of violence I keep hearing against Trump supporters.
Thank you.
And that's it.
Thank you, Karen.